Number 22, we're taking a look at the diagram that's given to us and information that's provided to us and trying to figure out if this line YW, which I've marked in purple, is a certain type of line. Is it a perpendicular bisector? Is it an angle bisector, a median? Is it an altitude? Based on the given information. We're not looking at the information here in 18 and 20, that's why I crossed it off. You'll notice that I already marked the information that's given to us. We know that YW and XZ are perpendicular. I've shown that here with a little square that's showing this as a right angle. I actually did it on both sides even though I didn't need to. And then XY and YZ are also the same length. I marked those with a little tick mark. So that's all the information given to us. And so now we can kind of focus on that diagram, which is all marked up, and think about the characteristics of these different lines that we've learned about. The first one is it a perpendicular bisector? Well, it's definitely perpendicular. We know that. Information was given to us, and now we see that on the diagram. Does it bisect this line, XZ? Nothing shows us that it does. There's no tick marks there. But remember, one of the things that we learned is that if this line lying on a perpendicular bisector is the same distance to those endpoints, or lying on this line, it must be a perpendicular bisector. So from that, because these two are the same, it's safe for us to say that these two are the same. It is indeed a perpendicular bisector. Can it also be an angle bisector? Well, if it's an angle bisector, then it must split these into two congruent angles. And that is going to be the case in this point because really I've got two triangles that are going to be exactly the same as well. So it is also an angle bisector. Is it a median? Well, a median goes from a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Point W is the midpoint of the opposite side, so it's also a median. And then finally, is it an altitude? Well, altitudes go from a vertex to the opposite side, and where they meet the opposite side is a right angle. We have that here. So in this case, with this given information, we can say that this line YW is a perpendicular bisector, an angle bisector, a median, and an altitude. It's all of those things.